Your interviewee, I like it.
It's okay.
Okay,
Came
so
back.
wait. I don't know. I gotta tune it.
The perils of interviewing a musician, you have to tune.
Okay, so you know how it goes, before I went into the second verse, I'm not going to do the whole song because that would take too much time. So it goes, I've become a swap. I'm not even key in. I remember. Got it. I've become a swan to fly again. Right? And then I've made choices. Right? Okay. So this is what you missed on my birthday. Okay. I've become a swan to fly again. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I'm easy, yeah. I'm easy like Sunday morning. And then I went. I made choices. Cool segue, right? Okay, guitar going away.
Bye, guitar. Thanks for visiting.
Okay, so
what was the inspiration? Oh wait, you know what? Before we move on to that, what is the actual name of this CD, the new album?
we play instruments and shit. Do you want a little story?
Yes.
Okay. We went to June and did 6 shows in the UK that I mentioned earlier, and we were having dinner with the other band the night before the first show in Camden, and the waitress. I wish I could do an English accent. I'm the only musician I know that can't even do like Spinal Tap skits because I have no English accent. So picture a female, young English accent. She comes over, we're talking about AC/DC and Zeppelin, and she's like, who's that? And I'm like, AC/DC? She's like, yeah, I've never heard of them. And I'm like, how old are you? She's like, 18. I go, 18 or 8, everybody knows who AC/DC is. And she's like, so you guys are in a band? And I go, yeah. And she says, you play instruments and shit? And I go, first of all, that's the title of our next record. Second of all, yeah, no, we're not. We're in a band. It's a basketball, and it goes into a hoop. You fucking dummy. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. I don't say that. That would have been to somebody else.
He would have said that.
I wouldn't. I'm not that guy. I don't want to make the waitress cry or anything. But
she didn't know who AC/DC was.
Right.
Make her cry.
Okay, so don't know AC/DC, no tip. Come up with the title of a record, you get a tip. That's how it goes.
Okay. So what was the inspiration for the album? I mean, you just did one last year.
Yeah, I want to just keep the music coming. That's how I feel like. And I look to keep the fans participating. Like you do the, hey, you guys, you have questions for our interviewee? Send them in. I'm like, hey, you guys want an EP like the last 2 CDs, or do you want a full-length CD? Knowing that it'd be really cool just to put out another EP, because it would come out faster. Because now I have to mix 12 songs.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
My poor baby.
Hey, I do. Oh. So.
I know you.
So I'm distracted. Where was I?
Talking to the fans.
Okay, it's a good thing, because if you didn't know where I was, then you were not paying attention. That was a test. So, and 80% of the people came back wanting a full-length CD. And I thought, wow, well, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. I love that they feel that like they're participating, right? And when I started doing previews, the fans are going crazy, because you get a verse, pre-chorus, chorus, stop. That's all you get. And then I put up the CD for pre-sale on my website, and I haven't done that on iTunes yet, but it will be up there soon too. So, and then the CD will come out in October, and then we'll have a CD release party, and it'll be a lot of fun. But getting back to the whole concept of the CD is like cellos. I mean, I'm not overproducing anything, but if I want a cello, I'm getting a cello. And then in the same song, I go, I need a cheerleading section. So I was working on a record with these 2 girls, and I thought the name of the band was Boy. I think it's called something else now. But anyways, they're both really talented songwriters, singers, really awesome. And I'm like, hey, can you guys come into the studio and give me some cheerleading and stuff like that? And they said, sure. They said, sure. So they come in, And so there is a rah, rah, rah. No, fun, fun, fun. And then they go, they repeat some of the lyrics that I sing, and at the end of it all, they scream, take us to the chorus, when it goes to the second chorus. So, and when I hear that now, it makes me smile. That's like a really cool happening, you know, and then it breaks down to the cello and it makes it all moody and stuff. So, and, you know, who doesn't want to kill somebody just a little, right?
There are days when that little becomes a lot.
Yeah, but if you kill them all the way, you go to jail.
You don't want to do that. Don't go to jail. I used to work in a prison. It's not fun. Don't do that.
Stay away from jail.
Yeah. Plus the jumpsuits, not very attractive. Just FYI.
Okay. Good. See?
Yeah.
Shows education.
How would you describe the growth of the Drills from the last album to this one?
Good one. Obviously, you as an artist, you want to show growth from record to record. So the first record was one thing. The second record, We Bring the Rock and Roll, that was another thing. To me, it sounded a little more frantic and less controlled than the first CD.
Which was Kick Your Ass in 17 minutes.
Technically, for all you studio heads, if there are any out there, we did the first record all to click. So it's on a grid. So you're playing to this.
Mm-hmm.
On the second record, there was no click. So, like, that's why you hear the unbridled power of We Bring the Rock and Roll, because it's a really fast song that actually kind of speeds up and slows down a little bit and speeds up again. It's almost like the train going off the tracks. Mm-hmm. And especially You're Not Happy Till I'm Not Happy, at the end of that song, I really wanted it to sound like my favorite early Van Halen 1 jams, where it just sounds like the band's just doing this jam at the end and then they end the song. I wanted it to sound like that. So we were at East West Studios, and it was me, Dan, and Josh Freeze, because our drummer Dogway at the time was doing something else. So, and Josh is an amazing drummer, and he breathed fire, I can say that, right? That breathed? That
Yeah.
doesn't even sound like a real word, but it is.
You learned it here, people.
He breathed fire into this thing at the end, and I was going off, and the solo is as I cut it on the floor with Josh and Dan. And to me, I just listened to it and I go, that's exactly what I wanted, and I got it. So this record is almost a combination of the two. There's the unbridled power of jamming, but there's also to click, and just to keep it steady. And also, songwriting-wise, this is what I thought. You can't have, if you're going to do a full-length record, you can't have 11 middle fingers on there, right? So there's a few middle fingers, but there's a couple of songs. There's a whistle song.
I've heard this one. It's good. I like it a lot.
There's the whistle. I'm whistling. I don't know how I'm going to do it live, because I'll laugh, and then I can't whistle when I laugh. Okay, you guys whistle. All right, everybody, if you whistle, I'm just going to play guitar. We'll see how that works out. But in the meantime, there's that song, and there's I've never done that before. There's also a song that's in a different time signature. We're usually a 4/4 band, and it's just rock and roll. But this is a song. It's called Freak Show Acrobat. And basically, yeah, okay, I know.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
No, you haven't. I haven't previewed it yet, because I don't think the Drills fans are ready, to be honest with you, because it's so a left turn for us. But that's why it's followed by Stink on the CD. So, yeah, I've really went way out there as far as songwriting goes, and not too far out there with production, because I don't want to make a Pink Floyd record. It's still going to be the Drills. It's still going to be in your face, and it's still going to have some edge to it.
There's a lot of good stuff on the new album, people.
I'm excited.
If you haven't pre-ordered it, do it now.
Now.
Just saying. Right now. Stop this video. Go do it now.
At philxstore.com.
See? Now you know.
Now you know the destination.
Mm-hmm. Go. But come back, because we're not done.
And we're back.
Okay. So, most of your fans know you from either the Drills or Powder or the many YouTube videos that you have. But I know that you've been in bands for years, and some of them have been fairly known.
Yeah.
Who were they? Where were they? When were they?
Well,
and are there videos online? Because some of the hair that this man has had is awesome.
Okay, but Yeah, I am 100 years old, so I've been playing in bands.
It looks good, right?
I played with Elvis. No, I'm just kidding. Way back before I even moved to Los Angeles in '97, I had my share of being a side guy in Canada, and for which bands like a band called Frozen Ghost, which was, they had a number 5 song a couple of years before that, but I didn't know them at the time, and I was just getting out of high school, I think. So the producer came and saw my band at a club in Toronto called the Gasworks, and which is a very famous and non-existent club right now. But and he was like, "Hey, do you want to come and play my record?" And playing on his record turned into touring with the band, which was really cool. The funny part was we played Maple Leaf Gardens, which when we did sound check, I was on stage going, "Oh my God, it's Maple Leaf Gardens." And I would be up there, and I saw Cheap Trick sitting there, and I sat over there for Aerosmith, and there for Van Halen, 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 and there for Ted Nugent, and Alice Cooper, and I was just pointing out from the stage where, and this was my first time at a huge place, and it was Maple Leaf Gardens, hometown, friends there, my parents were there. It was it was an amazing experience. And I had this thing, like, you know how I like to laugh and smile on stage, right?
When you can see his face.
When you can see my face.
His hair is always in his way.
And my hair was down here at the time. And the singer's name was Arnold Lanny. We're still great friends. He lives in Temecula, and I still work with him, actually. But he was the singer, songwriter, and producer of the band. And he was like the boss, right? So I was doing this thing at the time where I would like throw the pick behind my back and catch it and keep playing, stuff like that. And sometimes I'd throw it up and I wouldn't catch it, but I'd knock it and it'd go like ricocheting off my finger at super velocity and hit him in the ear. That got me into trouble once. And
Only once?
Yeah. And the funny thing about Maple Leaf Gardens was he had seen video of us play live, because every band, if you're really serious about your performance, you videotape yourself and learn from it. Wow, that was cool, that wasn't, I'll say that again because that was cool, and that kind of thing. So he's like, "Hey Phil, you know, I know you're happy-go-lucky, happy to be here, that guy, I know you're here, but some of our songs are very serious, and it'd be cool if you didn't laugh or smile." I'm like, "Wait, you're kidding, right? You want me to be serious?" He goes, I'd really appreciate it. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, I'll try really hard." So here I am, I'm doing my thing, right? And we're doing that song that he's talking about, I'm not supposed to laugh in. And there's a girl in the front row, and she's pointing and screaming at the top of her lungs. Screaming, I don't know what she's screaming, but she's pointing at me and screaming. And then we end the song, and it's like this really dramatic thing, and you finally, you know, when the music stops and you can hear somebody yell something, she yells, "I want to fuck you." And everybody hears it. And he's up there going, "Fucking guy, what are you doing in my band?" You know? So that was kind of funny. And then I changed out of my stage clothes. I started walking around Maple Leaf Gardens. I didn't think anybody would recognize me because nobody knew who I was, but then I did get mobbed. It was kind of funny and interesting and scary all at the same time. Sunny boobs.
Which he'll still do.
Yeah. It's a request.
I don't believe I requested it.
That was many, many months ago.
True. And there are no photos.
There is. Isn't there?
But I'm not telling you where they are.
Oh, okay.